What happens when one of the most notorious motorcycle gangs clashes with the law? In the solemn confines of the courtroom, a stage is set for gripping legal battles, shocking revelations, and unexpected twists. Today, we embark on a journey through the most astonishing Hells Angels courtroom moments of all time, where the line between justice and chaos becomes blurred. In these extraordinary cases, the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club finds themselves in the crosshairs of the justice system, facing charges ranging from racketeering and drug trafficking to extortion and assault. The courtroom becomes a battleground, where the pursuit of truth clashes with the ruthless reputation of the biker gang. Get ready to witness the craziest Hells Angels courtroom moments, where the boundaries of law and order are tested and justice is fought tooth and nail. Brace yourself for an unforgettable journey through the dramatic twists and turns that have defined these captivating legal battles. 4. Emery Pitt Martin, cocaine trafficking and criminal organization involvement. In a solemn courtroom setting, Emery Pitt Martin, a man from St. Anne de Madawaska, faced the consequences of his involvement in cocaine trafficking and acting for the benefit of a criminal organization. The trial shed light on Martin's affiliation with the notorious Hells Angels and his role in the drug trade within Quebec. The proceedings commenced amidst heightened security, reflecting the gravity of the charges against Martin. The courtroom was filled with a sense of anticipation as the details of his alleged criminal activities unfolded. The prosecution outlined the extensive investigation known as Operation J Thunder, which targeted the cocaine trade in northern New Brunswick's Acadian Peninsula. As part of this operation, the RCMP, in collaboration with other law enforcement agencies, identified Martin as a longtime member of the Hells Angels involved in drug trafficking. The trial revealed that Martin had imported a staggering 96 kilograms of cocaine during the summers of 2016 and 2017, making him a key player in the northwestern region of the province. The courtroom listened intently as the prosecution presented evidence linking Martin to the illicit drug trade. During the trial, it was revealed that Martin's criminal history extended beyond his recent offenses. In 2015, he had pleaded guilty to a conspiracy charge at the Guan courthouse in Montreal, admitting his involvement in the Hells Angels' infamous conflict with rival organized crime groups from 1994 to 2002. This deadly feud, known as Quebec's Biker Gang War, claimed the lives of over 160 individuals, leaving a lasting scar on the province. As the trial progressed, Martin's defense team sought to present a nuanced perspective, emphasizing his time served in custody and the challenging conditions he faced, including periods of solitary confinement. They argued for a reduced sentence, taking into account the impact of his confinement on Martin's mental and physical well-being. Ultimately, the judge rendered a decision, considering the complex factors surrounding Martin's case. Recognizing the time he had already spent in custody, the judge reduced his sentence by approximately 5 years. The courtroom witnessed mixed emotions as the consequences of Martin's involvement with the Hells Angels and the drug trade were made clear. 3. Richard DeVries, the arrest and bail hearing. In a dramatic turn of events, Richard DeVries, the president of the Hells Angels Las Vegas chapter, found himself at the center of a high-profile case. Following his arrest on additional felony charges, including racketeering stemming from a Memorial Day weekend shooting incident, DeVries faced a crucial bail hearing that would determine his immediate future. The courtroom was filled with anticipation as Richard DeVries, adorned in his Hells Angels insignia, entered the room accompanied by his legal team. Spectators and members of the media gathered to witness the unfolding drama, eager to catch a glimpse of the notorious gang leader. The presiding judge, Tiara Jones, sat at the bench, maintaining an air of authority as she prepared to make a decision that would impact the course of DeVries' trial. The atmosphere in the courtroom was charged, with a mix of curiosity, tension, and apprehension. During the bail hearing, both the prosecution and defense presented their arguments. The prosecution highlighted the serious nature of the charges against DeVries, emphasizing his alleged involvement in racketeering and the Memorial Day weekend shooting. On the other hand, the defense asserted DeVries' innocence, painting him as a respected member of the community and advocating for a reasonable bail amount. After carefully considering the arguments, Judge Jones addressed the courtroom. Taking into account the gravity of the charges and the potential risks involved, she decided to set DeVries's bail at $250,000. The higher bail amount was intended to reflect the seriousness of the allegations and ensure the safety of the public. Additionally, Judge Jones imposed strict bail conditions, including a prohibition on any contact between DeVries and fellow Hells Angels members or affiliates. As the judge delivered her decision, the courtroom buzzed with a mix of reactions. DeVries' defense team displayed visible disappointment, realizing the challenge they faced in securing his release. Meanwhile, Hells Angels members present in the courtroom exchanged concerned glances, understanding the impact of the bail conditions on their interactions with their leader. 2. Neil Cantrell and Robert Lowry, the extortion plot unveiled. In a courtroom filled with anticipation, the trial of Neil Cantrell and Robert Lowry, two individuals associated with the Hells Angels, commenced. The atmosphere was charged, knowing that the case revolved around an extortion plot that had sent shockwaves through the community. As the trial unfolded, the courtroom was captivated by the chilling details of the extortion scheme orchestrated by Neil Cantrell, a longtime biker and leader within the Hells Angels, and his co-accused, Robert Lowry. The prosecution presented evidence showcasing their roles in the plot, leaving the courtroom in disbelief. The prosecution argued that Cantrell acted as the mastermind behind the extortion, leveraging his prior business relationship with the victim, Robert Poole. Poole, a loyal associate of Cantrell for over a dozen years, had decided to step away from their illegal cannabis operation, seeking an exit from the illicit trade. In a twisted turn of events, Cantrell contacted Poole years later, arranging a meeting near Hope, British Columbia. Poole, unaware of the dangers that awaited him, arrived at the roadside pullout, expecting a peaceful discussion. However, the meeting quickly spiraled into a violent confrontation orchestrated by Cantrell and Lowry. The courtroom was stunned as the prosecution presented evidence of the brutal assault Poole endured at the hands of Cantrell, Lowry, and their accomplices. Bound and subjected to a vicious beating, Poole was then taken to his own house, where the assailants attempted to coerce him into signing over his property. The trial shed light on the chilling dynamics of power and control within the Hells Angels organization. The prosecution argued that Cantrell exerted significant influence over Lowry, who aspired to become a full-fledged member of the gang. Lowry, previously a successful businessman until a car accident derailed his life, now faced the repercussions of his involvement in the extortion plot. As the trial reached its climax, the judge delivered the sentences. Recognizing Cantrell's role as the mastermind, he received a decade-long prison term, a stark reminder of the consequences of his actions. Lowry, who had no previous criminal record but played a prominent role as the muscle behind the extortion scheme, received a slightly shorter sentence of 9 years. The courtroom atmosphere was charged with emotions as the victim, Robert Poole, reflected on the impact of the incident on his life. Forced to enter the witness protection program for his safety, Poole's journey was a testament to the lasting scars left by the Hells Angels' criminal activities. 1. Joseph Lancia, a pivotal plea deal. Joseph Lancia, the president of the Hells Angels Rhode Island chapter, found himself in a dire situation as he stood before the judge in a packed courtroom. Surrounding him were his fellow Hells Angels members, proudly displaying their full-patch jackets. Lancia's position as a notorious figure within the biker community added an extra layer of intrigue to the proceedings. In a surprising turn of events, Joseph Lancia made a pivotal decision that would significantly alter the course of his trial. He chose to change his plea, catching both the prosecution and the defense off guard. This unexpected move introduced a new dynamic and brought a sense of anticipation to the courtroom. As Lancia's defense team and the prosecution sought to understand the implications of his plea change, the judge provided an opportunity for Lancia's attorney to explain the reasoning behind their decision. Lancia's attorney stepped forward and addressed the court, presenting their case for the plea deal. The defense attorney argued that it was in Lancia's best interest to change his plea, citing potential benefits that outweigh the risks of proceeding to trial. While maintaining Lancia's innocence, they emphasized the need to avoid the more severe charges, such as discharging a firearm during a crime of violence and invasion with intent to commit a slaying. The defense team believed that accepting the plea deal would provide a better outcome for their client. With the defense's explanation in mind, the judge considered the implications of Lancia's decision. Recognizing the significance of the charges and the potential consequences of a trial, the judge weighed the options before rendering a decision. In a moment of suspense, the judge announced her ruling. As part of the plea agreement, the more severe allegations against Lancia were dismissed. This meant that he would no longer face charges related to discharging a firearm during a crime of violence and invasion with intent to commit a slaying. However, Lancia would still be held accountable for a charge of felony battery and carrying a gun without a license. The courtroom filled with a mix of emotions. Lancia's supporters displayed a sense of relief, knowing that the most severe charges had been dropped. The prosecution, although disappointed to lose the opportunity to pursue the more serious allegations, acknowledged the legal strategy behind the plea deal. Lancia himself stood silently, fully aware of the weight of the consequences he would face. Ultimately, Joseph Lancia's pivotal plea deal would have a lasting impact on his trial and future. While he managed to avoid the harshest charges, his fate was sealed with a 5-year prison sentence and an additional 10 years of probation. The courtroom drama surrounding Lancia's case showcased the complexities and strategic decisions that unfold within the realm of criminal trials, leaving observers captivated by the outcomes and their implications for the Hells Angels Rhode Island chapter. And there you have it, from Richard DeVries's arrest and dramatic bail hearing to Joseph Lancia's pivotal plea deal and the shocking trials of Neil Cantrell, Robert Lowry, and Emery Pitt Martin. These Hells Angels courtroom moments have left an indelible mark on the justice system's history. The clashes, revelations, and unexpected outcomes continue to shape our understanding of organized crime and its intricate legal battles. Join us next time for more gripping stories from the world of crime and justice.